Hey everybody, this is Billy. How are you all doing today? So it's Tuesday, so it's time to talk about WWE and Raw last night. Now, there's a lot of things I like to cover with Raw today, but I want to also keep this video short, so I'll just kind of go over some of the highlights and the lowlights, and then I got something to say about the current status of WWE right now. So last night, I would say, the highlights were, of course, the Kevin Owens AJ Styles match was really good. Even though it was really good, they afterwards, Kevin Owens got on the mic and said he didn't have no opponent for WrestleMania, and then after that, the Dolph Ziggler, Miz, and Sami Zayn came out, and he said, I'm going to have a triple threat match later tonight, and the winner of that triple threat match will go on to face me at WrestleMania. So you think it's going to be those three, and then later on you find out he actually brings out Sin Cara, Stardust, and Zack Ryder into the match. And so you're thinking, okay, so he kind of did a bait and switch on us. But then, in the middle of the match, Dolph Ziggler, Miz, and Sami Zayn come down, and he kind of gets into an altercation with them, which leads to either him or one of them hitting one of the opponents in the triple threat match, and the match ends in disqualification. So you're thinking, okay, that's a little weird. But then this to add the stupidity on top of this whole situation, later on in the night, they're talking about the Divas triple threat match at WrestleMania, and they remind us that all triple threat matches, there's no disqualification. So it just made me facepalm the whole night. Also, at Raw last night, they announced finally that the match with The Undertaker and Shane McMahon, Undertaker's career is on the line. So if Undertaker doesn't beat Shane McMahon, he has to retire. Basically, Vince said that if he doesn't win this WrestleMania, this is his last WrestleMania. So that was kind of I'm kind of glad they did that, because now I have a true reason to root for The Undertaker in this situation, because before it kind of led to Shane being the one who, has it all on the line, and Undertaker didn't have anything on the line, so you kind of was wanting to root for Shane, even though it was against The Undertaker. But now, with The Undertaker's career on the line, you have a reason to root for Undertaker. So I thought that was cool, because I still want to see Undertaker at least do one WrestleMania with John Cena before he retires, because I honestly think that they need to have a match, because that's like the old guard versus, well, I wouldn't say exactly the new guard, but Undertaker is like the biggest face of, the biggest character of all time, and John Cena has been the face of the company for 11 years, 12 years, how long it's been, and he's so it needs to go down between them to have a match at WrestleMania at some point. So I'm kind of hoping Undertaker wins so that he can at least have that last match with John Cena, and it sucks that John Cena got injured this year, but it's whatever. So what is it I wanted to talk about? Because there was something about Raw that bothered me real bad, and it wasn't actually anything WWE did. I mean, yes, there was stupid stuff on the show. The whole deal with Roman Reigns was stupid and all that. But what bothered me about this show is early on in the show, they had the Kevin Owens AJ Styles match. That match, the crowd reacted fine, but you could tell they were into it, but it was only part of the crowd that was into it. You heard let's go AJ, fight Owen fights, but you would only hear it in little segments. It wasn't it wasn't loud at all. Then you get to then you get to the New Day thing, and New Day comes out there. And now New Day's I'll admit New Day's promo kind of was terrible. It was one of their worst promos they've ever done. But before they even came out and did the promo, the audience didn't respond at all. They were just quiet, through most of the night. I don't even know, can't even remember if the Undertaker thing got any kind of reaction. Was Vince McMahon saying, the Undertaker's career on the line? There was really no reaction throughout most of the night. I mean, this audience was pretty much silent for most of the night. It was a terrible audience. And then you get to the main event, and this audience has been quiet for most of the night. But you get Braun Strowman taking on Dean Ambrose. And I'll be when you go watch a Braun Strowman match, you're not going to see Braun Strowman doing cartwheels. Braun Strowman's not going to be busting out all these technical moves. Braun Strowman isn't going to freaking jump off the top rope. He's not that kind of guy. He's a big guy, and he serves his purpose. His purpose is to be dominant, to be strong, so that when the baby face comes back, it looks phenomenal. It's like, wow, the baby face is actually going to beat the big guy. He has his role, okay? And they want to keep Braun Strowman strong, which I understand. That's fine. But in the middle of the match, Braun Strowman, he's getting offense on Dean Ambrose, doing what a big man does. He was fine. I don't even think he was doing anything wrong in the match. He was just doing typical big man stuff, which is what wrestling's been based on for years, And the crowd just starts chanting, boring, boring, boring. And I'm thinking in my head, when you chant something like boring, it's one thing if you chanted Strowman sucks. That's fine. Because, for one, he's a heel, and two, Strowman isn't that good. So if you want to, chant Strowman sucks, that's fine. But they were chanting boring. And what that does is that reflects poorly on both men in the ring. That reflects poorly on Dean Ambrose. So now you're not only burying or destroying, hurting Braun Strowman, you're hurting Dean Ambrose too. Because he's in the match as well, and you're saying that, his story, his plight of him, proving that he's, going to be tough enough to face Brock Lesnar, that's boring to you. It's like saying, I don't want to see the Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose match. And this is what irks me is everyone complains they're so tired of the way WWE is pushing Roman Reigns and making Roman Reigns this new guy. But, throughout the night, you had the New Day come out there to silence. How are you going to help New Day get over if you're just going to be quiet? New Day is an act that most wrestling fans agree is a pretty good act. So when you don't help them out, you're not pushing them. And then when you yell boring at the end of the night for a Dean Ambrose match, Ambrose, who is pretty much universally loved by most people, you just kind of crap all over Dean Ambrose. So what bothers me about this is WWE, you complain, go, oh, WWE keeps bringing back John Cena. It's because John Cena gets a reaction. I mean, yeah, sometimes he'll get a boring chant when he's wrestling Randy Orton for the 2 billionth time or something like that, but he'll still get a reaction from the crowd. When you crap all over Dean Ambrose's matches, you're basically telling the WWE, oh, we don't like Dean Ambrose either. We don't like Dean Ambrose. When you have a lackluster, response to AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens, which I mean, that match was probably the loudest, the loudest they got, throughout the night was that match. But it wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't great. It wasn't like super fantastic. I mean, you had some people chanting, some people chant for the other guy, but it wasn't the whole audience. So you just basically crapped all over the product last night. And Roman Reigns was only on there for like 5 minutes last night. I mean, he might have been maybe 8 minutes. I'll give you 10 minutes. 10 minutes of Roman Reigns for, 2 hours and 50 minutes of everybody else, So you just basically told WWE that you didn't like anyone on the roster, that you're just, and you wonder why no one gets over. You chant boring at a match that, I didn't even see all that boring. It was a typical big man versus little man match, and Braun Strowman I thought was fine. I mean, but even if the issue is you don't like seeing Braun Strowman wrestle, don't yell chant boring because, he's ahead, chant he sucks or something else like that. And so, we all want change in the WWE. We wanted, WWE to change their plans for WrestleMania and put, and give someone else a world title shot. But you know what? If Roman Reigns, if you're not happy with Roman Reigns, that's one thing. But if you're chanting, boring during a Dean Ambrose match, you're not getting into the New Day. You're not getting into, when Dolph Ziggler comes out there, because I know Dolph Ziggler used to be people's favorites, and there's a bunch of other guys that I know a lot of people like that you guys didn't respond to or react to at all. I don't even know if you guys gave a good reaction to Sami Zayn, who's kind of the new guy in town. So, you know what? WWE, just, go forward with your plan with Roman Reigns, because to be honest with you, the fans doesn't know what they want. So you can't give the fans what they want when they don't know what the hell they want. So, go ahead and just keep with your plan. Keep going forward with Roman Reigns, because to be honest with you, WWE's not going to be happy. They were happy when Daniel Bryan was, running around, but I guarantee you Daniel Bryan had more success than he did. If he was a long-term world champion, you had him like holding the title for 12 months, they would start turning on him too. So WWE crowd doesn't know what they want. So just keep going with your plans. Keep pushing Roman Reigns, because you know what? At this point, that just irked me last night. That you guys would try to, hurt Dean Ambrose, while he's out there. When everyone's talking about how they want Dean Ambrose in the world title match, and then Dean Ambrose gets put in a big match. He's in the main event, and all you guys can do is chant boring. Philly, the only people that was boring last night was you. As far as Raw goes, I thought it was a 50-50 show. I thought 50% of it was pretty good, and 50% of it sucked. But the crowd, you guys just sucked. So I'm getting kind of frustrated with this whole hijacking the show and all that. I know that's not really what you guys did last night, but it was pretty sad state of affairs that you guys would do that. So anyways, that's my piece about Raw. Talk to y'all later. Bye.